Welcome, 8th graders. I am absolutely pumped to have you here today. All right, let's jump straight into today's explainer on standard English editing conventions. We are taking all those awesome writing skills you've been building all year long, and we're finally learning how to give them that brilliant professional shine.
And honestly, this right here illustrates exactly why we're doing this. Think about the phrase, "Let's eat, kids." Okay, without punctuation, a super friendly dinner invitation suddenly turns into a terrifying threat. No way, right? But you just add a simple comma, "Let's eat, kids," and boom, you've literally saved a life. It just proves that punctuation isn't just about boring rules, it's entirely about meaning.
Section 1. Polishing your words, turning rough drafts into masterpieces.
So, when you are drafting a paper, you are really just gathering your materials. It's kind of like you're out in the forest, chopping down wood. But editing? Well, editing is the true craftsman's polish. It's that critical final step of the writing process, dedicated entirely to polishing your writing so it is grammatically correct and totally professional. You shouldn't be rewriting your whole paper here. No, you are doing the vital work of smoothing out all those little splinters, just making sure your writing becomes perfectly correct for your reader.
Think about how we actually perceive mistakes. Mistakes are literally like static on a radio. Imagine you're trying to listen to this beautifully composed song, but there is this loud, obnoxious static buzzing in the background. You get completely distracted from the music, right? Well, grammar and punctuation errors do the exact same thing. They distract the reader from your true, brilliant message. Proper grammar clears that static right up and makes your work incredibly credible.
Section 2. The Approved Worker. Building your testimony through excellence.
Now, we aren't just learning this stuff to pass a test. Let's look at this super powerful verse from 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. Do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who does not need to be ashamed and who correctly handles the word of truth. Did you catch that word, worker? As dedicated craftsmen building a real testimony for the Lord. Handling truth correctly requires diligence, it requires effort, and it demands a standard of absolute excellence.
So here's the crucial takeaway. Good writing is actually a direct reflection of your Christian testimony. Your schoolwork isn't somehow separated from your faith. Not at all. When you write clearly and effectively, you are putting this beautiful reflection of who you are in Christ right there onto the page. You are showing that you actually care about the truth enough to communicate it incredibly well.
Because when we write with honesty, clarity, and excellence, we are actively showing deep, genuine respect for both God and our readers. You plan carefully, you write thoughtfully, and you polish your words so they can shine brightly and bring actual truth to others. It is literally an act of service.
Section 3. The Editing Toolkit. What to look for when you polish. All right, let's crack open our digital editing toolkit and see exactly what a craftsman needs to get the job done. Here is your fail-proof step-by-step procedure. Step 1. Check for complete thoughts. Absolutely no fragments allowed. Step 2. Verify subject-verb agreement. The subject and the action just have to match up in number. And Step 3. Ensure correct punctuation. Remember our dinner invitation from earlier? You definitely need the right periods and commas to properly guide the reader's breath. But I do need to give you a pretty crucial warning right here. Read carefully. Look, while computer spell checkers and grammar apps are incredibly helpful tools, they are not foolproof. At the end of the day, they are just robots. They don't know the context of what you are actually trying to say, and they absolutely cannot replace your careful, God-given intellect. You are the master craftsman here. The computer is just your hammer. Never, ever let the hammer do the thinking.
Section 4. Fixing common mistakes. Welcome to the Craftsman's Workshop.
Let's step into that workshop for a second and see how this builds practically. Notice how a sentence like, "I went to London last summer," with a lowercase I and a lowercase l, it just looks like a rushed, sloppy text message. But applying proper capitalization transforms it instantly. Capitalizing the pronoun I and the proper noun London makes it look like a serious, polished, professional sentence. Try reading this sentence out loud to yourself. The dogs runs fast. Do you hear how jarring that sounds? When a plural subject like dogs doesn't agree with the singular verb runs, it just sounds wrong. Honestly, our ears often catch these mistakes way before our eyes ever do. And the fix is super easy. The dogs run fast. Just match the plural subject to the plural verb and you've got perfect harmony.
So here is your official homework mission for this week. And yes, I'm calling it a mission because it's a fantastic, practical opportunity to prove your newly sharpened editing skills. Number 1, you will correct 5 grammar mistakes in a provided paragraph. 2, you'll fix 3 punctuation errors in standalone sentences. 3, you'll hunt down and capitalize proper nouns in a short passage. 4, you'll find and correct spelling errors in a list. And 5, you'll format a title correctly according to the rules we've just learned. You've got the tools, now go execute the mission.
Section 5. The Godly Learner. The HeroesMart Academy Philosophy. As we wrap up today's explainer, I want to shift to a slightly more reflective note about the ultimate goal of your learning. You see, at HeroesMart Academy, we purposefully intertwine biblical morality with absolutely everything we do, and here is exactly why. Education without biblical morality can actually hurt. Just making someone smarter without making them wiser, that's dangerous. Knowledge shouldn't simply make you more capable of doing whatever you want. It should actively help you make wise, God-honoring choices.
Romans chapter 8, verses 6 and 7 teaches us this beautifully. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Keeping your mind spiritually focused, yes, even when you are doing something as strictly academic as editing a paragraph, leads directly to life and peace. We want your academic excellence to be deeply rooted in a spiritually minded heart. So I'm going to leave you with this really powerful question today. Will you pursue academic excellence while keeping your mind totally centered on God's truth, wisdom, and righteous choices? I really want to encourage you to apply these editing skills not just as a student trying to get a good grade, but as a true dedicated craftsman who honors God with every single polished word. Go out there and handle the word of truth correctly this week, 8th graders. I will see you in the next lesson.